So since moving, and actually technically since before we moved, I've been trying to reduce the amount of stuff that I have. And I've been trying to reduce the number of books I have. I've tried to get realistic. Am I ever going to read this book? Am I ever going to reread this book? And if the answer is no, I've been trying to get rid of them in one way or another. We took boxes upon boxes upon boxes of books to a couple of used bookstores over several months and sold a lot. I took a lot of books to those little free lending libraries around originally when I was out still in Fairfax, took them there. And then after moving into DC, I have engaged in a process of doing more of that, getting rid of more books. One of the things I've been really trying to do is go through my graphic novels, which I have a ton of, thanks to working at bookstores and buying a lot on discount and going to used bookstores and buying blah, blah, blah. All kinds of graphic novels, tons of the darn things. And a lot of them I never got around to reading. I would be like, oh, this looks interesting. Boom, buy it. And now I regret that because I have too many. And so I've been trying to make myself go through and actually read a bunch. And if I don't think I want to read it again, one time is enough on a lot of these things. I'm putting them in the little free lending libraries. What I have tried to do is not look at what's in there and take anything out. I have failed a couple of times. I got a book a while back about, it was a youth-oriented one by Jane Yolen about female sailors and pirates and things like that over the eras, which was fascinating. And recently I've picked up a couple other things when I've walked through. One, this novel, Ian Colfer, who wrote Artemis Fowl. It's a Marvel Iron Man thing. I figure I can probably knock this out fairly quickly once I sit down and read it. If I don't like it from the start, I've spent nothing. I'll toss it back in the little lending library, assuming when I finish it, if I do read it, that's what I'll do anyway. Just recently, though, I came across this one, Never Whistle at Night, an Indigenous dark fiction anthology, which this just sounds really interesting. It's a lot of stories. I don't recognize, I think, any of the authors. Is that true? Phoenix, blah, 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 blah. I don't read a lot of contemporary fiction, so I don't recognize, I think, anybody in this, which is great. Different people that I have not read stuff from. I love short stories, and I kind of like, I want to read some from different cultures, so that I love learning about different cultures, and I love learning about the fears and weirdness unique to each place. It helps to break you out of your routine. When you read about other cultures, when you learn about other cultures, it helps to change your perspective a little bit, which I think is super helpful for when you're writing. One of the things that I love about living in DC is the strange stuff that you do come across. And I found these two books. These are from April 1982 and March of 1982. Managing Commercial High-Level Radioactive Waste and Nuclear Proliferation and Safeguards. Okay. When I worked at the Spy Museum, we carried this kind of stuff, little professional journals and things like that from these organizations. And because we actually, for a long time, we had while I was there, we had a buyer who really worked to cater toward professionals. So we had stuff, we had a lot of popular history of espionage and things like that, but we also had some more technical stuff for people who were interested in the real work of it. So anyway, I spotted these in a little free library, and I was like, I got to grab these. And I think part of it is, I think these would be cool to have. I want to read through them and just to see. But also, I think these would be great little props to have on the table if I'm running something set in the 80s. I'm thinking about, like Tales from the Loop or something like that, I always like to have, if I can, some kind of prop or handout or something, even if it's not directly related to the game, just something to put people in the mind. If I'm running, I have a reproduction of the Sears catalog from like 1895 or something like that. So if I'm running something set in the 1890s, I might have that out on the table. I have a copy of the Green Book. It's a reproduction of the Green Book from 1950 something. So, if I'm running a mid-century game, I might have that out on a table. I had definitely had a few things from the 20s. I have a couple of recreations of books from the 20s that I think would be handy. There's one I saw recently, and I have it on a wish list, and I don't even remember now. It's like a 1910 tourist guide to like Chicago or something like that, and it's a reproduction of this. Hey, you're visiting the city. Here's what you want to see. Something to that effect. Anyway, I think those kind of things are a ton of fun, and so when I saw these, I'm like, well, I'm going to put these with either, if I run an 80 set Call of Cthulhu game, or if I run another Tales from the Loop game, I'm going to have these on the table for people to take a look at just to get into the headspace of the era. I think that's a lot of fun. So anyway, I try really hard not to take stuff from the little free lending libraries because I don't need anything. And because I'm trying to reduce the amount of stuff that I already have. But I figure a few books here and there, when with these two, when I finish reading them, they're going to go right back into the lending libraries. I say when I finish, if I ever get around to them. That's why I'm not doing the Goodread giveaways as much anymore. But these will go back into the little library boxes. I love that, where I am in DC. I mean, there's a ton of them. There's every couple of blocks, there's another one. So there's a lot of sharing amongst the folks in this part of town, which I think is great. So anyway, there's my little find for the day. And actually, it's over the last couple of months. So until next time, take care.